And welcome to the first launch of Grow Remote West Cork. We're delighted that you're all here today, and it's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Donald, for that little bit of introduction, and welcome everybody here this morning. And again, thanks everybody for joining this morning. It's great to see the numbers and the interest in Grow Remote. It's absolutely brilliant. There's obviously a good need down here in the West Cork area for more remote workers to build out of the community. So as Donald said, some of the chapter leads are going to be just given a rough idea as to what's kind of going on in the local area, and we are going to be talking about Grow Remote, what they promote. First of all, what is Grow Remote for those of you that don't know anything about it? We're going to be talking about the communities here in West Cork, what does Grow Remote consist of as a member, and how you can get involved and be supported and support as well. Grow Remote is a friendly network, as Donald had mentioned. Yeah, we're all big smiles and all try to get on, and we do very much ensure that you really enjoy yourself this morning. We've lots planned for you, and we're looking forward to hearing your feedback as well. So I suppose to kick us off, I suppose just to let you know, my name is Michelle Ryan. I'm based here in Clonakilty, and I'm the chapter lead for Clonakilty, and I'm in teams with Rachel Kelleher in Clonakilty, and she's going to be sharing all about what they're doing in mixed co-working space, and also a little bit about her experience in the co-working space, Grow Remote as well. So I suppose without further ado, I'm going to introduce us to our guest speaker, and before I just do that, we just give a rough as to how the morning is going to go. So we've had a little bit of an introduction with regards to what's going on roughly, but we're going to get Donal, our guest speaker, to give us an overview of Grow Remote and how that looks and feels in the national level, but also a little bit about the individual Grow Remote workers in the background as well, and what that looks and feels like. Then we're going to introduce the chapter leads throughout West Cork, and we have come together as an initiative for Grow Remote West Cork, and some of the chapter leads have joined forces. So they're going to be telling us a little bit about what's going on in their community. So first off, we'll have Gavin from the Lovegate in Skibbereen. Then we're going to have Peter from the chapter in Dunmanway. We're going to go into breakout sessions where you get to have a chat, meet other people, and hear again what your maybe challenges are around the Grow Remote industry at the moment in this current climate. We'd love to hear from you. And then we're going to come back and hear some more for some of the chapter leads in Clonakilty and also in Bantry. And then we'll come back with an open floor discussion, and we're going to have Donald to run through and go through that with us, and then we're going to wrap up for 12 o'clock. So I hope you enjoy it. Any questions throughout, just drop them into the chat as we go. We'll be putting in our links as well for each area, but also how you can connect with us both on Facebook and all the other channels as well. And yeah, and as I said, if you have any questions, you can come back to us and shout out there in the chat box. So I suppose without further ado, we'll kick off there with Donal from Grow Remote, and he's going to share with us all about from a national level, and then also how other people can get involved. So Donal, over to you.
So there are 80,000 remote jobs available to local people in West Cork. That sounds like a big number, but I'm going to explain to you a little today about the infrastructure and the access to remote jobs that we're trying to promote as Grow Remote. So Grow Remote is a community organization, and I'll tell you a little bit about how exactly we're trying to build community, but just a little bit about me. I grew up in County Down. I live here by the seaside in Skerries, North County, Dublin. I love to sing. I recently started a martial arts class, and I'm committed to building local communities of remote workers. And really, it's about understanding what remote work is and how we can all come together and sort of as like-minded people who are going through a very similar daily experience, how we can offer support to each other. So remote work is work you can do from anywhere. It's also called distributed, location agnostic, telecommuting, and telework. And what isn't remote work? And this is a very important question based on even last week's bill that I'm sure you heard about. Working from home as an emergency precaution during a pandemic is not remote work, and that's not what we're talking about. What you have to do during a pandemic is not the future of remote work. And flexible work, where you have to be within commuting distance to a city firm office, that's not remote either. So it's important to distinguish what exactly we mean. So remote work removes location as a barrier to employment. So you can live anywhere and you don't have to be at the beck and call of an office which will invite you in or request you in or demand that you're there. So a remote role facilitates and supports effective work regardless of where that work is being done. So that's the first sort of definition. And maybe some of you find this is very familiar, maybe this is quite new information. Let us know in the chat what you make of this. So then, what's co-working? Well, co-working is when you carry out professional duties, your own work at a purpose-built facility in the company of other workers. So it's where you share that space with people, you get your work done, but there are other people doing the same thing in the same room. So where does Grow Remote come in? Well, we are a non-profit social enterprise formed in 2018. So that gives us a few years ahead of the pandemic. So we've really been trying to specialize, and we've built up and tied in with the global network of remote infrastructure well before the pandemic. And we're all about empowering social, economic, and environmental impact. And this is done offline primarily. Obviously that has been difficult the last few years, but that's what we're dedicated to doing, making remote employment available to anyone, everywhere. Thanks for the comments, keep them coming. Please do tell your story. That will help our chapter leads to sort of identify how they can help you. So what do we do? Well, number one is, by the way, I will share this with all of you so you can have a look through it. I don't want to read everything that's on it, so we'll send this out in the email so everybody can have a good look in their own time. We want to help people find full-time remote employment. We want to help employers and companies adapt to remote culture. That's a big one. And we want to build community around local services. So that means West Cork. We want to connect people in West Cork, spending their money, living there, working there. And so this is Hannah too. She did one of our remote work courses. So we also offer training based on your level of experience in remote or digital skills. If you have none, then we have a course for you. If you have some, we have a course for you. And if you're leading a company, a remote team, we also have a course for you. So we can send out, I will actually spend the next 45 minutes or so putting links in the chat for you to take away all about our courses and all about different things. But this is Hanatu, who got a job with Zazzle after she did one of the courses. So really lot of success stories just like that, and people just like you. A remote first company, here are three that they're very well known in the space. They offer perks like free company retreats, laptops provided, covering all costs of company travel, open vacation policy. These are things that we often find in remote companies. And then Shopify has a starter salary of 29 grand, and there's a lot of learning and developing. So these types of cultures are often found in remote companies. What are the benefits for the local community? Well, we want to bring our diaspora back so people don't have to leave. There's no commuting, so there's more time and money and fun being had in the local area. Better jobs mean more money in the economy, higher standard of living, and it maximizes the benefit of co-working and that experience for local employees. For the companies themselves, they can access a large talent pool because there's no boundary. It doesn't matter where you live. Better employee retention due to culture, usually savings on office overheads, and then future-proofing the company through processes and communications. And this is something we work with companies a lot on. So you can join the community. This is the Facebook group for West Cork. I will share that now. So don't worry, you'll get all the links in the chat. And that's all I want to say. Just basically introducing you to Grow Remote, and I'm going to pass you back to Michelle, and we're going to hear from our chapter leads. So keep your stories coming in the chat, keep your own thoughts on remote coming, and hopefully we'll be able to set you up with each other today. Thanks very much.
So that's great, Donald. Thanks a million for sharing a little bit about Grow Remote. Love the idea of the folk singing, by the way. I thought that was really good. You might give us a tune sometime when you feel a little bit more comfortable. But and that's great. The benefits of Grow Remote is absolutely fantastic. With regards to the talent pool, working in the economy, keeping the economy connected together. It really brings those benefits back into the community. So we're going to hit off now with hearing one of our chapter leads in Skibbereen, Gavin, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in their community and how they've got involved in the Grow Remote area. So Gavin, off you go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are delighted that you've been able to join us. Yeah, as Michelle says, my name is Gavin Jeffrey, and I am the Grow Remote chapter lead for Skibbereen and also business development manager here at Ludgate Hub behind me. My family and I came from Cork City to West Cork in March 2020 for what was originally planned to be a 2-week stay, but we never went back. We could see that our children were thriving with all the extra space to run around, and myself and my wife both love the outdoor lifestyle. So it soon became a no-brainer to make the move west a permanent one. We've really enjoyed becoming part of the close-knit community in Schull and West Cork, and we've integrated well. I think made easy by the welcoming community of people here. I am now an active member of the Coast Guard in Schull, and my wife volunteers in 2 local committees, the preschool and for the film festival. So yeah, we're well integrated now. Before joining Ludgate last November, I spent 18 months from home with just my laptop and mobile phone. Working from home has many advantages, but it also brings some challenges. Overall, though, my first experience of working remotely was extremely positive. The main advantage for me was seeing more of my young family during the day. I also realized then that remote working provides a huge opportunity for those in rural communities, subject to having a decent broadband connection, of course. Disadvantages included 5 minutes of tidying my room before a Zoom call to make it look somewhat respectable. And thank God for the introduction of virtual backgrounds, so it gets me out of trouble there. Over time, I also found it a little claustrophobic to sleep and work in the same room. So there's no doubt the hub network can provide a solution here. Not long after starting with Ludgate, I developed a partnership with Grow Remote. I saw it as an ideal way to promote the cause of remote working. Their ultimate goal being to enable people to live, work, and participate locally merged perfectly with their own goals here at Ludgate. Ludgate is situated here in the heart of Skibbereen. It's also non-profit social enterprise, so all profits are put back into the facility to improve our service to members and the local community. It was set up in 2016 by a local group of local business people and volunteers, and it has become a blueprint since for success in rural regeneration, and has also been referenced in the government's recent rural development plan. Here at Ludgate, we offer the perfect solution for all remote workers. We have an eclectic mix of full-time members, all from different sectors, too many to list, but it provides an excellent opportunity to network and make friends with a variety of lovely people. So please don't hesitate to get in touch. If you'd like to know more, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or send me an email. Again, I'll pop the details into chat, or even better, call into us here at Ludgate anytime you're passing, and I'll show you around. You can try out our new coffee machine, and there's nothing virtual about the coffee here, I promise. I'd love to hear your suggestions as to how I can achieve my goal of spreading the word about remote working to people here in West Cork. So I look forward to getting to know everyone and finding out more about you. Thank you all, and back to you, Michelle.
That's brilliant, Gavin, and great the flexibility that you have in your life to get involved in the community and still be able to do, work as well. Do you know what I mean? Those 2 mixtures together are fantastic. So great to hear what's going on down there in the Skibbereen area. Now we're going to head over to Demanway, to Peter Walsh, and he's going to give us a little bit about what's going on over there, Peter, in your community, on connecting in there with the Grow Remote workers and sharing with us what's new and what's happening.
Thanks, Michelle. My name is Peter Walsh. I'm the local chapter lead here for the West Cork Grow Remote, and I'm also centre manager here in Brook Park Business Centre. I suppose, who are we? Brook Park Business Centre is part of an overall project including the Community Enterprise Centre here in Demanway. So we're a community organisation, non-for-profit as well. The business centre is run as a business and provides many facilities. It initially came out of a local community effort by Demanway Enterprise Network. We work closely with Demanway Chamber of Commerce and other community organisations as well. So The bit about the facility here, the business centre has hot desking, co-working facilities, offices. We have some training and conference facilities as well, presentation rooms, a lot of flexible space. So we've run a lot of different events here, and we also have a boardroom for meetings. And we've been, I suppose, a huge resource to the local community over the last 2 years during the pandemic, when people were, I suppose, forced into working remotely. So, you know, it was a great facility for them. We have 1 gigabyte of broadband. We're disability friendly. Our location then is on the Clonakilty Road, Dunmanway. A lot of you might be familiar with the Parkway Hotel, so we're just down the road from that. So it's within walking and cycling distance of Dunmanway Town Centre as well. And we're hoping in the near future to have a local link service as well from Clonakilty to Dunmanway, which will be passing by Brook Park. So we're engaging in a sustainability project as well going into the future. So that's all linked to that. So so there are facilities. We operate on a 24/7 basis. So I see there just this morning, curiously, the power is out in Newcestown. So I suppose that's one of the hazards of working remotely. So I suppose that's the beauty of having a hub network in West Cork now, having 4 or 5 hubs, is that in situations like that where you can't work from home, there is a facility nearby that will get you out of trouble. And as I say, we provide 1 gigabyte broadband here and flexible workspace and facilities. So I suppose about the future, my role here is to promote obviously Brook Park, but also to promote you know, community development, business development in Dunmanway and the surrounding areas. And working remotely would obviously greatly enhance the economic and social well-being. As Gavin influenced there, it's just not about a job, it's about getting involved in your local community. So we just think that remote working, grow remote, will kind of lift all boats. So my role is to act as kind of linkage. So if anybody wants to contact me, you can contact me here at Brook Park. We're open to all suggestions. We have a great facility here. It's a great facility for West Cork and the community, as are all the hubs. And you know, here's to a good future of remote working in West Cork. So the links will be on there, but it's brookpark.ie. And thank you for your time.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant, Peter. Thank you so much. It really makes a difference to know that there's something over there in that direction in West Cork that people can, you know, even link in, even for a day, or you know, if they're down in West Cork as well. It always makes a difference to know where people can go and to connect in with others. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's very important. So, and I think it's so important as well that we hear back from you guys, people that have joined us this morning, with regards to your challenges. So we're going to just jump into some breakout sessions, and as I said, it's all about being friendly. And what I suppose our wish for you this morning is really to go away with some learnings, and also to go away with, you know, even shared learnings, which I think is always a great way. So we're going to do some breakout sessions here now, and some of the chapter leads are going to be in the rooms to either hear your challenges at the moment, and about remote working and what's going on for you right now, and you know, even to discuss, you know, maybe what you would like from the remote working opportunities that you might think might make it better working for you down here in West Cork. So should we set up the rooms there? We're going to have Rachel Kelleher here from Clonakilty Mixed Co-working Space, and she's going to share with us, and myself and Rachel are working together with regards to the chapter lead in Clonakilty, and Rachel is going to share with us what's going on there in Clonakilty. And Rachel, over to you. Give us a little bit of update as to how you're getting on.
Great, thanks, Michelle. Yeah, well, we had a great breakout session, so thanks, Ken and Anya. It was really good to chat with you both. So hi, everybody. My name is Rachel, so I'm the owner of Mixed Co-working. So we'll be opening in March next year. No, just joking. We'll be opening March this year, hopefully. So we've been on a very long and slow renovation project of a building in the town centre here in Clonakilty. So our building is just across the road from the Clonakilty Hotel. So you'll see it there. It's we've just painted it a deep maroony purple color. So I'm hoping that you don't miss it. So our focus as a co-working space is to create an uplifting place to work. And the building itself, so it's a very light, a light building. There's lots of greenery. So really just wanting to create a place where, whether you're working at home already or working in an office, that you have this second place to come, which feels a bit different, that it's a nice environment to work. And, you know, that idea of a change of environment is great. So we'll be offering full-time, part-time memberships, and then pay as you go as well. So the open plan workspace is upstairs. We'll have 18 desks, and then the casual seating areas downstairs. So that's where I'll be hanging out most of the time. So if you're walking past, please pop in. I'd love to meet any of you for a tea or coffee, and can show you around the space. So what we're kind of seeing is a trend, and in a trend is that our focus will be supporting people who are actually maybe quite happy with their setup at home or in the office, but they might come into us 2 or 3 days a week. And again, emphasizing that it's just about getting a change of environment. And we're also keen to support people who are working at home, but they just want to come out for 2 hours and have a coffee with their laptop, and, you know, not be kind of rushed to leave. So that idea of just dropping in and being able to sit downstairs and do a little bit of work as well. So so all of those different types of visits, whether full-time or just dropping in, will be bookable on our website. So it's mixedcoworking.ie. So I say sometime in March. I'm nervous to give a date because I have given dates before, but I think we'll be open before the bank holiday in March. So a little bit of background. So Mix actually started in 2018. So I started working remotely in 2017 with a remote first company. So I was hired and worked with a team of 6, and I didn't meet them until 18 months later. So it was very, it definitely wouldn't be for everyone, but I absolutely loved that type of work. And yeah, if you do come in for tea or coffee and you're interested in working remotely or work remotely, I'd love to share some ideas and tips on that. And just, you know, a remote first company, they're set up for remote work, you know, the types of tools and platforms that you use, and just the mindset. So if anyone's interested in talking about that, I certainly am. So do pop in. So back to Mix. So when we started, we just had 7 desks. So it was just a starting point. And then fast forward a few years. So in March 2020, we actually closed. So we've been closed since then. And we had just at that point when we closed started a conversation with a building owner, so the owner of 8 Wolftown Street, where we'll be moving. And he's been slowly renovating the building for us. And it's been a good partnership. So then we'll be taking over some of the interior renovations and stuff. And so that's where our new chapter starts. So a little bit on Grow Remote. So I joined Grow Remote a while ago, but I only started becoming active with Grow Remote quite recently. And retrospectively, I wish I'd gotten active earlier, because with setting up the co-working space, I have felt a little bit alone in it at times, especially over the pandemic. So I think that it's just a brilliant network. Donald's put me in touch with a few people, other co-working space managers and that, and already that's been really, really helpful. So it's a very big and active network. Whatever you're interested in, you will probably find people that are interested in the same thing. So the Grow Remote Slack channel, so that's where you'll find people to connect with. So there's a hive of conversation on there. So if, let's say, for example, you want to find out what people are saying about the government's latest remote working plan, the grievances that people have, if you're keen to, you know, hear what other employees are saying about that type of, that type of thing, what's in the news right now, things like that, Slack is brilliant. The Grow Remote Slack channel is brilliant for that. So I think it's important to see Grow Remote as something that's much larger than a link between the hubs that are here now. It's a place to find jobs, find ideas and friends and different things. So definitely do check out the Grow Remote Slack channel. That's it from me. I'll put our details in the chat, but if anyone has any questions, let me know in the chat and I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Great, Rachel. I think that's covered it off really nicely. And as I said, you could go into lots of other details with people. What I really liked there was you mentioned the Slack platform with regards to Grow Remote. That was really key, and people connecting, and they can also connect on the Facebook as well with regards to seeing what's on coming up in the events as well. But we'll be hearing a little bit more hopefully on that in the open floor. Now we're going to jump over to Neil Clark and our chapter lead over there in Bantry. And Neil, do you want to share a little bit about what's going on over there in your area of the country?
My name is Neil Clark. I'm involved with Bantry Bay Works here. And this is the story so far. I'm involved with Bantry Chamber, which was formed in 1970. I've been involved in various businesses over the years and chamber projects, big and small. In 2016, we formed our town team, and one of the issues that we looked at was broadband and the general evolving situation with IT, and that we needed to have a foothold in that with other towns. So we lobbied for upgrades of our broadband because the service in Bantry was very poor. Progress was slow, but anyway, it's coming. It still needs more work. In 2019, broadband had improved, and we decided on creating a hub, a remote working space. We attended Grow Remote seminars and gathered information and advice through Grow Remote channels and webinars. We formed a subcommittee for remote workers, an accountant, and Catherine Kingston of WCGP and myself. Catherine and Michelle O'Keefe secured a grant from the Department of Community and Rural Affairs. Peter Coppinger of Teamwork then came on board as a supporter and sponsor. Jim O'Keefe offered us a space, built for purpose space on the first floor of the new Super Value with access to parking on that floor. The Bantry Chamber members made generous contributions, and it's a non-profit organisation. In other words, like Bloodgate, anything that we make goes back into projects or the Bantry Bay Works. Our hub comprises 16 desks, a phone booth, private office, air conditioning, natural light, supervised broadband. We fitted perspex screens around each desk and regularly sanitized desks, and installed sanitation stations so that we could stay open during COVID. We undertook some marketing initiatives. We did a Come Try Me Day, where you can come in for free and try the desk, hook up and try the desk. We put a special monthly price for people who wish to use the centre 2 to 3 days a week. We would put a monthly rate for that kind of operation. We did flyer drops, which, funny enough, with all the technology and everything, they've proved the most successful things we've done. We're open 8 to 8. Booking and payment is through bantrybayworks.ie. Our location is special because we're situated over the Linear Harbour and Marina, first floor, Keith Super Value, less than 5 minutes from the town centre and the plaza. Outside dining is a feature of Bantry now, and it's very popular. It's just around the corner from us is the old railway pier and the popular baking walk with magnificent views of Whitty and Chapel Island. Boats and canoes can be hired at the pier, and you can charter a trip around the bay or a safari tour, 2-hour experience. So our thanks goes to Jim O'Keefe, Super Value, Peter Coppinger of Teamwork, our generous chamber members, our clients from near and far, and a special mention for Tracy and Rose of Grow Remote, who were very good to us in the early days. Also for putting up with me, which isn't the easiest thing to do. I'd also like to sincerely thank Catherine, whose work ethic is just amazing, and really we wouldn't be here without her.
Well done.
That's it from Bantry.
Yeah, brilliant. And great to hear as well, so many people involved from the community. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's really good. And so much going on with your walks, what's going on in the town. So great as well for people to kind of, enjoy that. So I suppose the next thing is to bring it out onto the open floor, I think, Donal. We're just kind of short on time. And I was just thinking there, with regards to some of the challenges that had come up earlier for people. With some things that came up in my room was around training, communication for co-workers, and mentors and working in clusters, that type of thing. So that was just that kind of came up in the room that I was in. But do we want to just open the floor now to everybody with questions? Do they have questions for some of the chapter leads that spoke earlier, or will we just leave it to the challenges?
Yeah, well, it'd be good if anyone has a question, just let us know in the chat, or just pipe up and you can ask. But I can see Gavin put something in the chat there about some of the topics that came up in his group. There's a demand for meeting and connecting with remote workers locally. I presume that's offline and maybe online as well, maybe just getting to know each other through the Slack or through the Facebook group. I've posted the West Cork Facebook group, which everybody can go in right now and just join, and that would be a good way to everybody keep in touch in a very sort of easy way. And then Gavin was also saying some of the topics were networking locally, career progression, so people sharing experience. I know we have someone here who's been working in a remote first company for 10 years, so they would have some insights that of course they can share, at a meetup or even one-to-one. Managing teams remotely, I just put in a link to the Leading Remote Teams course that is Grow Remote is offering, and there's a free info session on the 6th and the 14th of February. I've put that link in there at the bottom. You'll see that at 11:47. There's a wee link there. You can just register for free if you want to find out about those Leading Remote Teams. Remote Work Ready, which is for people who want to just take a progression towards a remote job. Maybe you're not working remotely or you want to. And then there's another course called Thriving Remotely, which is kind of an in-between for people who are maybe more established. As Michelle said there, this is a great sort of platform and space for people to share and to actually support each other, because I know even a few people when I was in the breakout rooms mentioned how much they're working and having to work because things are busy and getting that distinction. But Catherine has mentioned she's just starting out, so there are people who are maybe trying to set their boundaries even as they start out. Muriel said maybe easier to manage workload working from home. Depends on the type of work, of course, depends on the industry. Pat says it's important to make a conscious decision, exactly, because maybe you're self-managing when you're at home, and that's a big point. And then Carol does talks on this with corporate clients, so maybe Carol would be a good person to talk to about maybe an event or maybe some tips. Catherine, achieving work balance could be a good idea. Siobhan's heading on. Thanks, Siobhan, for joining. Trina, having all work apps deleted off the phone, so no email, Slack, or LinkedIn on the phone. Okay, that's a big one, but of course, why not? Why do you have to have it in your pocket the whole day? Laptop at home, exactly. So I know we're coming up on time, so maybe Michelle, you want to wrap it up for everybody?
Yeah, just to and just to I suppose to take away some insights, and if there's even and we might ask you there in a moment just to share with us maybe one insight that you learned maybe today, or you could bring away with you. We'd love to hear that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to say thank you for joining us. It's been absolutely great. We've loved the turnout. It's been a real friendly session, and great to hear your what's going on in your area. From all and from some of the chapter leads here today. It's been brilliant to hear what's going on throughout Grow Remote West Cork. And as I said, it's a new initiative. We've joined forces really to support Grow Remote workers in West Cork and to support the localities and the communities to grow from a business perspective, but also from the local perspective as well. So really help us to do that and share with us as we move forward. We'll be doing this, as I said, every month, and we'll be looking for topics to discuss and share with you and bring feedback to the table, and really to understand how we can build out the Grow Remote community here in Grow Remote West Cork. We're looking for your feedback. We're looking to come up with ideas and so forth. So looking forward to meeting you the next time, and as I said, join on the Facebook group, and we'll share the details. And again, we'll hopefully be able to put out Slack about the platform and how you can get connected on that as well. So that's something that we're looking to do as well. Donal has very kindly offered to share a video with us and how that can be done. So we'll look forward to sharing that with you as well. So I suppose support us by joining the community. join the West Cork Facebook group, reach out to maybe your local co-working hub, you know, to jump in with them, have a coffee with them, see what they're up to, you know, where can they support you, and then you're all invited back next month for that coffee again. So one of the months we definitely get to meet up personally, so which would be great. And I suppose without further ado, it's 12 o'clock now, and we don't want to keep you any longer because we know you've got busy days, and hopefully not too busy on a Friday, that you can down tools as well, and enjoy that flexible working with regards to remotely. So and enjoy the lovely weather that's out there at the moment.